you can just keep all these cuts in so they can figure out why I look so different by the end of this.
Any napkin?
Oh no. Ugh. Ah. I guess I'm sort of like bummed out because I spent a lot of years just not liking myself, so you think about it.
Dana, Linn, Bailey.
Let's go! Do what I do! Work like I still got something to prove! Let's go! All I do! Work like I still got something to prove!
I haven't even said a line in Flagler Fail. We started in our garage off of $400. Rob's sort of been making his own clothing and printing shirts. I remember his first shirt printed in my dorm room. No, not my dorm room. My apartment in college. He made his first shirt, and it was back then it was called Broken Text, but Broken Text ended up and went away because the domain went up, and we didn't have money back then, so we let the domain run up, and Flagler Fail sort of started. The whole name behind it was sort of like the motto that we like live by. We're sort of at a weird place in our life, like where things weren't being met, like we weren't making money, like we could barely afford car payments, and it was something that you could always like come back to. It's like I shall not Flagler fail. You didn't want to give up, you didn't want to surrender. And once I got into fitness, that motto really was something that I stuck by tremendously. So it kind of worked together. Being told no constantly, but it was like, no, this is who I am. I want to keep pursuing this. I keep going. So it's sort of like a motto that we've always come back to, that is just something to live by.
What were people telling you no about?
Well, my history in fitness hasn't always been, you see the accolades, oh, Miss Olympia, you just think like, oh, she's just been doing well. But most of the years of me competing, I was dead last. Many years. I competed in figure. I started competing in 2006, I think was maybe my first show. And I competed in figure all the way up until like 2011, being called out last place every single year. And yeah, judges didn't like the way I looked. I had too much muscle. I was too lean. They didn't like my hair. I need to go get implants because I look more masculine. So just being told every part of you was wrong, I still competed in every show. I realized, like, in my head, I liked the way I looked. I liked being strong. I liked having shoulders. I liked my abs. And it was like the first time in my life I actually liked my body. I come from a past of not being super confident, very insecure about parts of me, and this was like the first time I actually liked parts of me, but then no one else did. So that was hard to like get through. Okay, well, now I like parts of me, but no one else does. So being told no, being told to change yourself, if you do this, you'll do better. And I sort of stuck with, I stuck to my roots. I stuck to what felt good to me. It felt good in my heart, felt my morals. I just kind of stuck it out until finally the whole world kind of switched. And I don't like saying I was part of like that movement where it was okay to be muscular, it was okay to be strong. And back then, like, girls didn't lift weights. They weren't in the back bench pressing. So I dealt with a lot of hate through the years. I dealt with not being sponsored. Like, all these girls are getting sponsored, but no one wanted anything to do with me. No photographers, no supplement companies. I was dead last, but I still just kept to like what felt right, and finally the world caught up.
Can you tell us a little bit about what bodybuilding has done for you, like your personal training wise, as far as the insecurities, but training?
Bodybuilding literally changed my life. Like I said, I was I have a history of just not being comfortable in my own skin for a really long time. Like if you think back, like anyone that, like back when you're in middle school and like just wanting to fit in and, oh, stop, I'm never gonna get through it if I'm already doing this now. You can just keep all these cuts in so they can figure out why I look so different by the end of this.
You need napkin?
Oh no. Ugh. I guess I'm sort of like bummed out because I spent a lot of years just not liking myself, so you think about it. Yeah, I spent so many years just like, and I was an athlete, so I never had, like, I was an athlete my whole life. You never think of athletes being insecure. You think of them being super confident and on the field, super confident. In regular life, not very confident. There were literally parts of my body that I would hide. Like there were years of my life I didn't even wear pants, or I didn't wear shorts because like I hated my legs because they were big soccer legs. And I hated my chest and like would try to hide that. And like I just think of like how life could be so much easier if you just like accepted yourself a little bit. Yikes. So a lot of ups and downs, and I went on, I played soccer in where I met Rob. Played soccer for Westchester University, and I didn't get into the gym until soccer was over, and we were dating at the time, and he's the one that like got me into it. And it's you think of like the butterfly effect. It's like if I didn't meet him, where would I be? Like, would I be here? Would I be in the gym? So I started training him because we didn't see each other. He had really long hours working at a restaurant. So he's like, well, if you want to hang out, I'll be at the gym. So I started going to the gym, and I just followed what he did. And yeah, I started getting stronger, and like coming from a very competitive background, like since 5 years old, I was on the swim team at 5, and I played all the sports. And then even in college, and just having that competitive attitude, when I started training, it was like a competition with myself every day. It's like, how many pull-ups are you gonna do today? How much are you gonna bench? I mean, I remember the first time we put quarters on the sides for bench. I used to call those the big dogs, like put the big dogs on. And like those personal, like actually getting stronger of what physically, what it did for me mentally. And then I started seeing like muscle shape and muscles form, and it was the first time I was like, wow, like if I want bigger muscles, I just train them a little harder, focus on them, and you can actually change your body. You can look exactly the way you want to look. And I started doing that and fell in love with it. Got into bodybuilding, and this is where like it starts getting weird when I get into competing in the fitness industry. That's when all the weird things come back on me, because now first time in my life, I like what I'm doing, I like my body, and now other people are telling me, no, you look wrong, you look like a man. So you question yourself, and there was a lot of like, through the years, a lot of questioning, like, okay, do I look like a man? Like, am I not, like, should I not be doing this? And like, am I right? Like, but I had someone right next to me telling me, you're perfect the way you are. I love every part of you. And because there were like, when judges are telling you like, hey, you need to go get breast implants, you need to do this, I would turn to him almost like, because it was back to like me not believing in myself again, which I did that already, and then I started to believe in myself, and then I let people take that away for a little bit. But that was my person that I could look to and be like, am I doing this? Like, am I weird? Am I like, do I look not good? And he would just tell me, like, I love every part of you. You're unique. You're a badass. And, like, just that constant, like, no, you're doing this right. You are exactly who you need to be. And it was like, then I stopped caring. And you told me one thing that, like, stuck with me forever. Because once he started getting online, he started doing YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. Like, so now not only am I getting like hate from people around me, now it's like people from all over the world telling me how ugly and gross I am. And you told me one thing, and I try to remember it all the time. It's like, it doesn't, you have a power that no one else has. And you have the ability to stop someone in their tracks, whether it's positive or negative. At that point in time, it was negative, a lot of negative. But having that power to make someone stop and like literally write something mean, that's a power. And as soon as you come back at them, you give your power away. So it's my superpower is if I can make someone have an emotion about me, whether it's positive or negative, I'm doing something right. And that's sort of what I always go with, and that's what kind of keeps me going. That's what gets me through those like really hateful comments too.